Hi, we're in the paNOW newsroom with two vital components for our coverage when it comes to the PA Raiders this coming season. The voice of the Raiders, Trevor Redden, and our sports reporter, Jeff D'Andrea. Trevor, what are the expectations like ahead of tonight's big opener?
Well, it's interesting. Last year, my first year as broadcaster for the Raiders, everybody around town said, hopefully we can make the playoffs. That was the big goal. This year, nobody's talking about missing the playoffs. Everybody thinks maybe this is the year they win a playoff round, or maybe a couple for the first time since 2005. So I think expectations have jumped considerably from last year.
And why the higher expectations?
Well, the returning players. There's 18 players back from the group that almost knocked off the #1 team in the Western Hockey League in the first round of playoffs last year. So returning presence, a lot of you know what you have, and usually in junior hockey that bodes well.
That sure helps. Jeff D'Andrea, sports reporter. In terms of the personnel, the skipper's back in town.
Yes, he is. Braden Pahal just coming back from Calgary Flames. Training camp and preseason as well. So obviously a huge boost for the Raiders. He just came back yesterday. The Flames announced. So he's kind of a leader, a balanced leader. He's fiery, but he also knows when to be cool and calm as well. So huge boost for them.
An experienced leader, and down the pecking order, although perhaps not for long, a young 16-year-old talent looking good.
Absolutely, first overall pick, Caden Gooley in his draft year. I'm sure everyone's excited to finally see him get off to his first full WHL season. He got a little bit of a taste of WHL action last year with the Raiders, so let's see what he can do with a full year under his belt.
Trevor, the matchup itself tonight against the Regina Pats. I wanted to ask you before we went on camera, this is a rivalry, but it hasn't been much of a rivalry of late.
Well, yes and no. I mean, last year the Raiders went 0-8 against the Regina Pats. I believe 5 or 6 of them were in overtime or shootout, so they've been close, a lot of one-goal games. The results didn't necessarily indicate the play, but let's face it, the Pats have been one of the best teams in the country the last 2 years. National finalists last year, best team in the Western Hockey League 2 years ago, and the Raiders have been on their climb. So I know I talked to a couple of guys this week, and they're really looking forward to potentially trying to even that score a little bit this year.
Great reason to come out to the opening game tonight. Another key element tonight, just to leave it on for today, Jeff, perhaps more of a sober start to the season tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Adam Harold, died in the Humble Broncos bus crash. So he's going to be honored. One of the themes, or I guess slogans, that the Broncos have been using is "Play for them," and the Raiders are taking that note to heart as well. So there's going to be a tribute pregame with Adam Harold, as well as player introductions to kick off the season. So fans are asked to be in their seats by about 7.
Great stuff. Thanks very much indeed, guys. On your live radio dial and on paNOW, we got all the Raiders coming your way.